Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time you're listening to this. I'd like to welcome you to the Real Estate Playbook podcast. My name is Paul. As always, thanks for joining us for another week of the show. Last week was episode 50. That was a big milestone. So, shout out to everyone involved. Appreciate ya. Today is episode 51, and we do have a very special guest. If you're watching the video version, you're probably very confused, but that's all right. Ms. Guest.
Yes. I'll go ahead and take it out.
It's Tabatha Pankop. This is Tabatha's second time on the show. Welcome back, Tabatha.
Hello.
Give her a
Welcome
minute.
back, Paul. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. She's putting the headphones on right now.
Left. Okay.
If you're listening on audio only, she just had a dinosaur mask on. Yeah. So, we have fun here.
Yeah, right? You can get it on Amazon. It's pretty awesome.
$12 from what I hear.
Yeah, for sure.
So, Tabatha, how are you today?
I am good. It's a beautiful Sunday. But no, I've been good. It's been busy. The interest rates going up and stuff has kind of calmed the market down.
Yeah.
So it's not as stressful, and you're not like going crazy doing multiple showings, bidding. You're really like taking the time and showing buyers, and buyers can kind of have that calming feeling sensation that they're not being rushed. So it's a much better market. So
for buyers and sellers, well, what about the sellers? How are they feeling right now?
they're still getting a good asking price, but it's coming down to where everybody was paying all these enormous 30, 40, even 100,000 over asking. So it was causing that influx of just a crazy amount of buyers coming to one house. Instead, there's buyers sitting watching houses sit. So yeah, the prices are kind of reducing, but they're not going at an enormous rate, So it's just the market settling down where it should originally be instead of last year when interest rates were low and everything blew up. You know?
Absolutely. So it's becoming a little bit easier for everybody across the board.
For sure.
We're getting to a more sustainable place in the market, one might say.
That's a great word to say.
I thought so too. Well, Tabatha, so we kind of jump right in, but for people who didn't see your first appearance on the show, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So I was born and raised in Indianapolis, Indiana. Again, I literally just celebrated my 9th anniversary. My boyfriend and I coming down to Florida, so that was like our fresh start. But I've been in restaurant, kind of like bar serving kind of scenario. Hospitality was like my go-to. But I've been told for years, getting a real estate license. I got it in 2020, right before the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
I was like super lost. And then I joined 54 Realty in December 2020, January 2021. I took off, and I recently just went independent in May,
Nice.
2 days after my birthday. So it's been really, really good. So, but yeah, 54 has literally changed my life. It really has.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
in the general aspect of real estate and just bettering myself as an individual person, building a brand, building my business, it's a whole 360 aspect to it.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about it on here before, not you and I, but others, about how at the brokerage we have the two divisions. It's a leads division and the independent. So it's kind of a big deal for you to transition from leads to independent, right?
For sure.
Can you tell people why that is, what the difference is between the two, really?
So the cuts are a little bit more hefty. Anybody's aware, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, what's some money compared to nothing? The leads, you do whatever the lead source is from Zillow, Realtor.com, or other avenues, and then you pay that up front, and then you split it through the brokerage. But the brokerage is giving you so many wide varieties of sources, from technology to helping you build your brand, from buyer-seller guides, as well as marketing you. And then also you can go through a listing course, because they want you to have you're prepared through every different scenario. So they prepare you to be a listing agent if you want to do something like that. And then basically they take care of your photography and everything if you're on the leads division. Now, when I switched to independent, the cuts and commission are a lot different, right? So it just depends on where your volume's been. But if you're on the leads division, you're capped at a certain, you have to do kind of one-to-one scenario. And your conversion rate has to be good. They don't want you solely just to be independent, switch the fee prices, and then you're still taking leads.
Right.
So they want you to really build your own and not have to depend on the lead generation source. Because at the end of the day, it's not fair if independent agents taking leads,
Yeah.
and then these team agents are kind of just sitting there and you're producing more, you
Right.
know. So, but the cuts are a lot different. But I have to pay for my own photography unless I want to do the part that they offer, which that's wonderful. You know, I like doing that stuff on my own because it kind of teaches me how to be independent, how to not depend on everything. But they have listing coordination and everything like that. So there's a lot of things that we can use in our a la carte that can help, but it's basically the resources there's what at 54 Realty.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a good option for people like yourself who, we have a dog friend in the studio, by the way, today.
He's our mascot.
That's right. It's a good option for people like you, Tabatha, who you started as leads division. You did it for like 2 years, about 2 years.
Yeah.
And kind of built up your own clientele base. You learned the basics and that sort of thing. And now you're able to like spread your wings a little bit. And rely a lot on the database and the tools that you built up from being a leads division
Oh,
agent,
for
right?
sure. Yeah, I just got like 3 referrals this weekend, but they're not going to buy just right now. So it's about converting and really nurturing those people when they're prepared. Because I have people that are buying a year out. Doesn't mean it's guaranteed right now.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
So.
What's like, do you have a story of like the longest time that you've had to nurture a client before? I know that's kind of a weird question, but
From them going under contract.
yeah, I've heard stories of like, oh, I've been working with this client for like 3 years and finally, they bought something.
So I got this lady, super nice. I adore her. Her name, I call her Shun because it's a very complicated first name. But I just got her through a lead source. I think I got her in March of last year. And it just, honestly, I just kept talking to her. And it wasn't even about real estate. She had to kind of like leave and go to, I think it was Louisiana. Her mom had really bad health conditions. And unfortunately, during that time, within the next few months, she passed away, unfortunately. So I was really there just like checking in, just seeing how you're doing. I didn't even push the thing about real estate.
Right.
And she told me she was honest. She was like, I wasn't sure of you. So I was also like, I was also talking to another realtor, but she wasn't pursuing. So she started really like getting to know me and she respected me. So she would go to new construction. If I wasn't able to, she would just ride around and give them my business card. So she also cared to keep me with her involved. Yeah. So we ended up getting her under contract May 16th of this year. Nice. So it was roughly about 16 months. And, not everything's going to happen at the snap of your finger. Yeah. It's not. And I think new agents see these whole HGTV kind of scenarios, and that's not the case. But I would say some leads are about 8 or so months, but most of them are about 8 to 12 months, I would say. But that's my longest so far. But I still have leads that I'm nurturing, but that's the longest from first to like getting under contract. And we will close between December to February it's a Lennar. It's a townhouse over in Wesley Chapel.
Nice. Yeah, that's kind of the reason why I asked is because a lot of people kind of forget that you're playing the long game a lot.
For sure.
In the real estate world, you have to, a client's not always going to be ready. Like, I got the money right now. Let's do it right now,
Yeah. And the thing about her is I didn't go to every new construction. I probably showed her like a handful of homes, because if you explain to them, like, you can go to new construction without me, but let me know, just because new construction, they're not going to protect you. No offense to builders and stuff, but they're protecting the builder, the agent is that works there.
Yeah.
So you have to protect them. And a lot of people don't know they should have two types of inspections, which is your pre-drywall and then your final walkthrough. And there's builders are going to mess up on things just in general. So you want to have everything pristine and 100% during the whole entire process. And that's what I also do. I go take pictures of her lot here occasionally. So
very nice.
Hi, Reese.
we got a friend here. Tabatha, this is why I like having you on, because you always like open a bunch of different little threads that I want to follow.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I definitely appreciate that. But I do have some questions I did want to ask you. Since this is your second appearance, obviously they're going to be different from the first time. Mm-hmm. So people out there, if you want to learn more about Tabatha, I would encourage, go back, watch the first one, and come back when you're done. We'll wait.
Oh, yeah. By the way, our first when we did the first video and I had those two people that walked in the door, they were like, well, we're just driving by. We got them under contract for a house in Spring Hill, and I absolutely adore them. Like, me and the fiance get along. We're like two peas in a pod. We get each other. They decided to cancel because he was like, I want to wait until Melanie graduates nursing school, which is in March of next year. And I still text them. They ended up moving to Sun City to move their affairs so she can finish school and kind of focus on saving more money. I was like, absolutely. I'm not even upset.
Right.
I understand it. I can't force you to do something, and I don't want them to feel like they had to get a house just because they needed a house.
Yeah.
So they did the right thing, and we're going to get them a really nice house over in Plant City. They want to be by this winery they told me about. So
Nice. I think that's Keel and Curly, isn't it? The winery.
Yes,
that's
they
over
told
there?
me about it, and they were like, we need to go have a drink. I'm like, yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll get
exactly.
there.
You said they saw the show first before all this
No,
happened?
We were going to tape, and we had to delay.
That's right.
Because we went in there and had
That's right.
an hour conversation.
Yeah, I
then I
remember.
went and did my makeup real quick and did the show with you.
I remember
Yeah,
that.
super nice people.
So Tabatha, this is one of the questions I ask people when they come back a second time, because I always get kind of funny answers. What do people misunderstand about the career of real estate? Like, what's a common misconception?
Boy, that's an open-ended question.
Yeah, sure is.
They think that they're just gonna get rich kind of scheme. That's not the case. There are agents in general that just like are blessed that have people that maybe want to sell those multi-million-dollar homes and things like that. That's not the case. Like, so at the end of the day, the assumptions of you getting rich quick and people are just gonna flock to you, that's by far the answer, you know?
Yeah.
So it's honestly hustling. And I think, and possibly the second or third year of the career is when you're going to really see the lucrative money coming through. But you spend a lot of that, you know, just in things like gas, like buying gifts and marketing and all that stuff. So
Marketing, yeah. On a similar note there, Tabatha, how would your family describe what you do, or your loved ones describe what you do? Because I always find it's funny when, like, so for me, for example, when I try to describe to people what it is I do as a job, it never really clicks right away.
Yeah.
And when I asked this question to, I forget who it was, but she was basically like, my family just, it might have been Erin, actually. She was like, my family just thinks that I'm always on the phone and this and that and the other. So how do people in your circle kind of perceive what you do?
As describing it, that I don't know what to say. Funny thing is, my boyfriend asked me, he said, do you know that do you feel like you're a realtor? I was like, no, I just sell houses. That's a straight up answer.
Right.
But they all see that I sell houses. I'm in real estate, but they know that I don't have any free time.
Yeah.
But like, I choose that. I choose that
you're good.
because I'm dangerously kind of obsessed with working. It's like kind of past my health, and some people do tell me that you need to take a day to yourself.
Right.
And I've been doing that, but like, I don't know. That's a weird question. I don't know the answer. Did I answer it right?
Good. Yeah. You made me think of a couple other things I want to ask you from that. No, you're good. So that seems to be such a common thing amongst real estate agents. In fact, it's come up on here many times to the what you just said about, you have a desire to work all the time and you don't necessarily take days off. What is it? Because it's not that real estate agents don't have the opportunity to take time off or to take time for themselves. Do you think it's just like they see, or you see, that there's money to be made, so why wouldn't I continue working, or what is that?
Well, there's money to be made, but like, I don't think people realize that like here's a scenario. Like, I took like a week off. I still did emails, like just checked on people, but I wasn't really pushing the fact.
Right.
Well, you kind of like slow down and take a week off, you don't have anything. And I've told new agents that kind of have gotten discouraged, not in just this brokerage, just in general. And I'm like, I don't have anything closing for the month of August. Now I have stuff in September and furthermore, but like you have to stay working unless you just have that influx of clients that are just coming to you left and right. Like you have to build your brand.
Yeah.
But you're like, you have to hustle and grind for the first few years. You're not going to be like the top agents at 54, really, like the Chris Marchitriano, Jordan Praise, Allison Brascani, Ann Carlson. Who else am I missing? Mike Peoples, Alexa. Shout out to Alexis Machine. She's killing it. Sherilyn Mitchell. Who else am I missing? Amy Kinchlow. Debbie Jenkins. You know, Alina Zimbra. How do we say Alina? Zimbra.
Zimbron.
Okay, sorry. But you're not going to be like those agents until you get up there and really grind. You know, Chris has been in the business like over a decade.
Yeah.
You know, Jordan has been in the business, I think, a decade too. So the expectation of seeing other agents hire is not realistic. Like you have to like take your time and grind. You know, but I think everybody's mentality is different. Shoot, I was back in Indianapolis. I was working 3 full-time, well, not full-times, but 3 jobs, 1 full-time and then 2 part-times and going to school full-time. I just have an obsession with work. And, you know, I think not everybody has that like sense of like, you know, hustle, you know, but everybody's different. You know, you just got to find out what your niche is and where you're good at, you know?
So it might be that the real estate as a career actually attracts people like you and like Chris and like whoever else that are oriented towards hustling, working hard, that sort of thing, rather than it creating the conditions for you to do that. Does that make sense?
For sure, yeah. Honestly, and I tell people this, like, I love real estate, don't get me wrong. But if I knew the stress, I mean, like, it's bipolar. It really is. Like, I'm dealing with some crazy stuff right now, but I can't really talk about it. But the stuff you go through, I tell you what, it's not for the weak. It really is not. And I tell people that if I knew the stuff I go through, I probably wouldn't have got my license. And that's the honest truth. I'm very honest, but I love it. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't go back. But if I knew, I would have considered and made sure this was the right move for me. You know, but I fell in love with it. I put my sweat and blood and tears into it and my money and time. So, you know, I had to kind of switch my whole perspective and really like look at it and like, this is what I really do like, you know? So
it reminds me of, you know, Tabatha, I repeat myself so much on this show, but I'm going to do it again. The book that Ann Carlson actually co-authored, which was called...
She did? For real?
A couple years ago.
I'm going to text her.
Yeah, you should check it out. It's called So You Think You Want to Be a Real Estate Agent, and it's basically about what you were just talking about, of all the things that people don't realize are part of the career.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, if you're thinking about getting into the career of real estate, you should read this book first and see if it's still for you. So maybe that could have been good for you a couple years ago.
Probably. I'm going to check that out too, because I don't like to read, but I'm going to read that.
I think it's relatively short, but, you know, shout out to Ann Carlson.
Yeah, sure.
She's the bomb.
Yeah.
The other thing that you mentioned a little bit earlier, Tabatha, that I wanted to ask you about is, like you said, your whole family, your friends, et cetera, they all know that you're in real estate. I think part of that is because you specifically are so active on like social media.
Oh, yeah.
With all your real estate stuff. How important do you think that is? Because that's another thing that comes up on here all the time, and people are probably tired of me saying use social media, but it's better to hear it from you.
Oh, absolutely. It's free. Like free what is it? Free 99.
Free 99.
Like, you know, I have like Agent Crate and stuff like that. But shout out to Arlena. Arlena's amazing. She's also a top agent here. She is great at helping you brand yourself. So she's kind of shown me some ins and out, and I lost train of
Realtor.
Oh yeah, she's awesome. She makes the best cakes. They're so cool, and her Mustang. But I lost train of thought. Go back. I'm so sorry.
No, you were just saying it's important. It's free.
Oh, yeah. Social media.
You, right?
So she taught me about just little things that you can do to market yourself. But really, I'm big in the videos and just like kind of like making humor into real estate, you know?
In case you couldn't tell from the dinosaur mask.
Yeah, like, but social media is huge. And, you know, I'm not one of those people trying to get like crazy views and get rich off of
Go
TikTok.
viral, yeah.
I know, no. I'm not trying to go viral. That would be great. It would build my business, but I'm not one of those people that like, oh, I gotta have these many likes. I just put stuff on there, and if it gets views, it gets views. But social media is excellent. Like, it's a way, but I don't put everything. I do other goofy stuff too, but you got to have an even balance with social media. But I love social media.
Was it you that had a video like go viral on TikTok, or was that somebody else?
My one of my TikToks, I do artwork, resin art.
Right.
I should have brought something here so you could see it. I don't think you've seen anything in person.
Not in person, no.
But one of my pyramids got like over 20-something thousand views.
That's what it was, yeah.
But like TikTok fluctuates. I do better like for the views for real estate per se on Instagram.
Yeah, the reels and stuff.
Yeah, the reels are easy. But my real estate fluctupes for me. Arlene is the same way. She gets a lot of views for her cars on Instagram, which
nice.
Her car's so awesome.
It is.
Yeah, I'm gonna plasti dip my Lexus pink.
Oh, I love that. It's my favorite color, actually.
Yeah, I'm still deciding on a certain pink. I don't know if I should do light pink or like hot pink, like
I
a
like
Barbie
a light pink. Yeah, like
light
a pastel or something like that.
Ooh, yeah.
All the pinks are valid. We like all the pinks around here. Tabatha, so moving on to my next question here. I'm curious to hear about, because in any career, in any lifestyle, it's important to have role models, to have people that inspire you, influence you, etc. What, or rather, who are some of the most influential people that have kind of impacted your career in real estate?
Here or in general?
Anywhere. It could be outside of the brokerage.
I would say Chris and Annie. That's the honest truth.
Yeah.
Chris, and Chris is one of those personalities. She makes you kind of figure out on your own, which that kind of helped me.
Yeah, self-discovery. Right?
Yeah, basically, everybody has to figure out where they're failing at and what's in pros and cons. And I'm more about like throw me in the streets kind of scenario. I'll figure it out, And then Annie stepped in and taught me about the systems. Annie is a tech guru.
Yes, she is.
Same as you. And she kind of taught me about that stuff. But then also we have a supportive team at here with some of the girls that I'm cool with. And that just helped me. We kind of branch off in getting ideals and stuff. But anybody that I knew that did real estate even before I got into it, not really. I don't really have anybody I look up to just in general to try to be a better person in real estate or in general.
So in that way, would you say that, because there's this quote that's like, you're not, I'm going to butcher this quote, but bear with me. It's like, you're not in competition with anyone else. You're only in competition with like who you were yesterday or something like that.
Right. And like I always say, you're your own worst critic. But I see some people on social media, like some large agents, that I watch, but I don't inspire to be like them per se. That just like I use what they do for content and also kind of just take knowledge from what they do and absorb it, and be myself. I'm not trying to be like anybody in real estate. I'm just myself and I do what's best for me. And that's what I try to tell people. I tell Allison, don't tell people to listen to me. Don't follow what I do. Because I be honest, what I do, it might not work for somebody else.
Yeah.
I like to just absorb everybody's knowledge and kind of just adapt it and kind of make it my own,
Absolutely. Well, let me ask you about this, because I remember earlier this year, if I'm not mistaken, you went to the Tom Ferry event, right?
That was awesome. That was so much fun. That was my first Airbnb too.
Oh, nice.
And like I got to meet Carrie, one of our agents here. She's super sweet. And I think it was a great like bonding experience for everybody. And then Tom Ferry is like a large real estate, kind of more of a coach, kind of just like that mentor. Yeah. And it was really like super motivating. I was really tired. Me and Ashley Wire left the last day. I was exhausted. But it taught me some cool things, especially about social media. And they spoke about that so much. And one of them was showing you how to do the green screen. I've yet to do that. I know how to do it, but no, yeah, like where you're like, oh, look at this article. just in real estate and your head's right there. It's so cool just to learn those little like tad bit things that can excel you better in social media, especially. And then they gave us this free cool, like, what are those light things that
Tripod.
No. To make the light better. It was
Ring light.
a ring light, but it was a little one that went on the phone, and I use it for when I do my artwork.
Nice.
It's super easy, and I love it. It's fabulous. But
absolutely.
it was a great experience. We really got to like kind of network with other agents. I actually needed to refer a guy, one of my clients, he was selling a gas station or something over in Alabama, and I referred an agent to him. And it was just really teaching you to get out there and just don't be afraid. Just make videos randomly and things like that.
Love it.
Yeah.
Tabatha, speaking of learning things, I know there's probably a couple answers to this, but what is a lesson that you've learned in your career of real estate?
A lesson I have learned.
Maybe the hard way.
That's a hard question. A lesson I've learned in real estate. Don't argue with people. Don't argue.
Yeah.
Because I have people that will like go back and forth, and it's just like you're dealing with multiple personalities, and there's people that will just keep continually harassing you and just getting mad if something happens. And I'm not one. I'm not going to continue arguing with people on the phone.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I think that's one, kind of just being very grounded. Don't get worked up over a lot of stuff. You know, just goose frabaha. Yeah. Have you ever heard goose frabaha? No. That's from Anger Management with what's his name? It's a movie.
I feel like
you know what I'm talking about. It's with Adam Sandler, and they're like, goose frabaha. So I always say that to me. It's from a movie. Don't mind me.
Love it. Man, you just made me think of something. Just went whoosh out the window though.
Sorry.
Oh yeah. So again, another thing that I say quite often, but piece of advice I've heard is be nice to everybody, because you never know when you're going to have to work with them or see them again, right?
Yes, that's true. Very, very, very true. Because I've encountered a few agents, and you have to be super nice, because especially if you have a good relationship with them, they actually might want to join your brokerage. They're like, wow, I want to work with this person.
Yeah.
Or they might I'm dealing with the on the buy side with this list agent, and her name's Michelle. She is utterly amazing. Like,
shout out to Michelle.
Yeah, Michelle Gieski. Super duper nice. I mean, like, her patience is beyond my wildest dreams. But like, she's super nice. She was like, we need to go have a drink after this deal. That's how awesome she is. But like, you're going to come back around those people. And plus, like, with the deal, what's going on, she's going to hook me up with a possible listing that she might have to help this buyer. So if you communicate and you respect other agents and become friendly with them, they actually might text you and be like, hey, like, I have this listing I think would be good for, do you know any buyers, before it goes live. So it's also being a team together, because you're in there for one deal, is to sell that home and get that buyer in. At the end of the day, that's like our main goal, is to get that house sold. So it's keeping an open mind and being very communicative and friendly to agents, Yeah,
I think that's great advice. Absolutely. So Tabatha, this question I often find is kind of hard to answer, but I'm curious to see what you'll say. If you could make a prediction, what do you think the world of real estate will look like 5 years from now? Somehow I feel like you and I have talked about this before.
5 years from now, real estate. I think a lot of the apartments that they're building are going to turn into condos.
Interesting.
Because like, you can continue to build single family homes, but people procreate. People get bigger and bigger and bigger. Like, that's what we do as a human race. We multiply.
This is true.
Sometimes people multiply more than others. 1, 2, 3, 45 kids, who knows? But I think in the next few years, like, we got Epperson Lagoon. We also have Murata over by Dade City, San Antonio. I think there's going to be a lot of apartments that are going to turn into condos kind of scenario. And then I also think they're going to start building a lot of like communities inside of a community, if that makes sense.
Communityception.
Right. So they have like the Epperson, like I said, with the lagoon. But over where I live, they have Midtown. It's on, I would say considerably Southdale Mabry. It's right off of the 275 overpass, but it's right off of Cypress in Southdale Mabry. It's called Midtown. I was there last night. It has apartments, hotels, restaurants.
It's very nice.
Yeah, they have Ben and Jerry's, Sephora. They have like everything. A Whole Foods. They don't have like a Target or Walmart, but Target and Walmart across the street. And nowadays, and a lot of people are doing Uber Eats. They're getting their food delivered. You have Amazon. It's becoming like to literally a click of button kind of scenario. So a lot of people are liking that lifestyle, especially being in Tampa. So I do see a community where everything's there. And like Murata has a Publix right in front.
Right.
And like it's going to be a golf cart centric kind of like community. I think that's pretty dope. Like just to drive up a golf cart, but I think that's what in the next few years real estate's going to turn into, where it's going to be focused very on a community kind of driven kind of area. Like from my understanding, was it Villages over in Ocala? I've never been there, but if you've heard of Florida, you've heard of the Villages. It's on a Netflix. It's a very interesting community. Mm-hmm. They are literally a town itself. And I was driving through it like 2 weeks ago with some investors. We were looking at multiple like RV parks and like multi-millions. And I was like, let's go through the Villages. They were like, no. But we actually drove through the street and they like have shuttles and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is the lifestyle for the 55 and older, or, whatever your lifestyle is there. No, yeah. Google about the Villages. I'm not going to say any more about that.
Yeah, it's interesting. Definitely do some research on that one. But no, I see what you're saying. In fact, you and I were talking off camera about, I was in Davis Island yesterday. And
oh, yeah.
Prior to yesterday, I had never been down there before. And if you don't know, or if you don't live in Tampa, it's like, it's a pretty wealthy area, I would say, Davis Island.
Oh, for sure. The fun fact about Davis Island, it used to be like a sewage dump.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, no.
And then what happened was they just started building multi-million-dollar homes.
Yeah.
Like this, I think it was, correct me if I'm wrong, the second most expensive property in Florida was Derek Jeter's home. It sold for, I think, about 22, 23 million. I'm not 100% sure. But there's a lot of very well-known, well-to-do people that live over there. I have some friends that live over there. But Davis Island's really nice, and it's not a gated community, one thing. It's like kind of like a one bridge kind of scenario.
Yeah, one way in, one way out.
Yeah, Tampa General's over there. They have Farrell's. By the way, if you ever go to Farrell's, it's like the small, like mom and pop. They have ice cream. Their Philly cheesesteak is out of this world. But anyways, Davis Island is a very quiet, niche kind of community. Mm-hmm. Very pretty homes. They're kind of like more Cali kind of design. They're
That's
very
the vibe
cool.
icon.
Yeah. But they have a small airport over there, so a lot of private planes over there. But they have a cute dog park, and it's gated. And I mean, take the dog over there. The dogs are super friendly, but the dogs can go play in the beach, and it's just a ball of fun. And then they have like a little wash pad for them. But Davis Island's pretty dope. I like it. And you can, they have a lot of, it's connected to the Gulf too. So you can literally take your boat to the Gulf. It's a channel. And then it takes you directly out to the Gulf. So,
yeah. Well, one day, maybe I'll afford a home out there, Tabatha.
I'm hoping, man. One day.
No, it was very nice. It was very nice. So I see what you're saying. We might see more of a development of like little communities, little hubs.
Oh, yeah. Like kind of like Harbor Island too. Mm-hmm, so, and then they're creating Channel Side like that in downtown. Channel Side's pretty awesome. They have a lot of stuff going up, especially with, I did some research on the hospital that's being developed down there. It's a lot about internal medicine and also a lot of different stuff with radiology and stuff. And the president of that hospital, he or she has like 10 degrees. I did some research. I'm weird. Dang. Like that. Yeah, I was like, who has the time to do that?
Right,
good
seriously.
But no, they're supposed to be taking the water taxi from that that University of Tampa General, because they're going to like coincide together. So that's pretty cool. But they have a lot of stuff with Microsoft and stuff down there. So Tampa is becoming a very, very, very awesome city.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely. move here or don't, we're full, you know what I mean?
Well, there's other places, we can discuss, do you want rural, do you want country, you
That's
want
right.
city, you want suburban, like we got it all.
We do have it all, truly, yeah.
Yeah, you want to live with the cows and horses, I'll send you right out there.
That's right,
Yeah.
right. So Tabitha, I have one last question for you, my friend.
We're almost done?
Yeah.
Oh, snap, okay.
This always happens. We just kind of, time flies when you're having fun, right?
I know, right?
So this one also might be tricky. I didn't think it was that tricky when I wrote it, but some people are just like, I don't know how to answer that question. Anyway, if you could recommend one book, one movie, or one podcast to the audience, which would you recommend and why?
Well, podcasts, I would say yes for sure because I'm not being biased. But this podcast for sure, if you're in Tampa, if you're also wanting to get to know other agents, I think our brokerage is amazing. I really do.
For sure.
And then, for other people, so you said podcast and what else? And
a book or a movie. It could be a TV show or something like that.
The book that I started reading, and I've yet to finish it, a good friend of mine, Allie, they gave me the book. They read a lot. What is it? Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
I've heard of this.
It's an excellent book, and he speaks. I think he has a podcast. I've seen him here and there on social media, just scrolling through. He talked about
Is it Dave Ramsey?
No, it's not Dave. I don't, you know what? Don't quote me. I'm so bad on names. Yeah, check
Keep
it
going,
out.
I'll Google it.
But the book is excellent. It kind of teaches you about the mentality. Is it Dave Ramsey?
No, it is.
Okay.
Bear with me. Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah, very, very smart. I haven't read it all, but it teaches you a mentality about kind of building your brand, building a business and stuff. And sometimes you go work for free for somebody or mentor somebody and learn from them, gain the knowledge. Just be a sponge, Not everything comes to you at first, but if you want to be a business person and get into possibly real estate or whatever you might be, or entrepreneur, it teaches you life lessons and values. But Rich Dad, Poor Dad is an excellent book,
Nice.
Oh, for sure.
Very nice.
But podcast, yeah, check ours out. Seriously, you're listening to multiple agents from all different avenues of all different walks of life and also all different levels of business. You're talking to agents that are rolling in 20 plus million a year.
Yeah.
To the agents that are doing 3, 4, 5 million. So it just, just learn from the best, I guess.
Yeah, not to do too much self-promotion here, but that's why I like doing this, is because,
Yeah.
obviously there's people like you that I know that this is your second time on. So you and I know each other, right? I
Yeah.
kind of know Tabitha, but I'll get people on here that I know them from the brokerage, obviously, but we've never really had an in-depth discussion. And just seeing everybody's different perspectives and kind of what goes into, their mindset and their business is really cool. So yeah, not to do too much self-plugging, but definitely there's a lot to check out. Like I said at the beginning, 51 episodes now. So
I know. I was going to ask you, I was like, can I be on the 54 instead? No, I'm just joking.
well, yeah, it's never too late, right?
I don't know. Who are you going to have on 54? You don't know?
I don't know yet. I have you today. I have, spoiler alert. Hey, there's our 54th guest.
Okay, get down.
We've got Gio is coming up.
Yeah, he came back. I'm so excited to see Gio. Get down. Okay.
Gio is my man. We've got Natasha coming up.
Oh, she's so cute.
She's great.
Shout out to her, man. Her Instagram, I love her videos. Did you see the video she just did with her key? Oh, it was pretty dope. I'll show it to you after we're done.
Check it
but
out.
she had a really cute video, and she does a really, really good job of marketing herself on Instagram. Yeah, she gets some people from off of social media. She's really, really good at that. I sometimes look at her and I'm like, man, I need to get the level of you. But yeah, I'm glad Gio's back. I don't know.
I'll have to ask her about that, Natasha.
Yeah, her reels are really good.
So that's 52 and 53. So 54, I don't have lined up yet. We'll see.
Maybe I should interview you.
I'll just get 10 people in here all at once,
That would be awesome.
We don't have enough microphones is the problem.
Well, we can kind of scoot up. We got the roller chairs.
Right. Well, I'll just do a rotating interview. All right, now you step up to the microphone. Now you step up to the microphone.
Oh yeah, I know, right? Kind of when what was it? Oprah and stuff. She would just have everybody talk.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe you should have Joe.
Yeah, that'd be cool, I think.
Why not? Joe.
We'll see. Stay tuned, everyone.
Joe and Richard, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Tabatha, that's it, my friend. Do you have anything you want to promote? Like, do you want to promote your social media?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. It's Tabatha Pankop. But my Instagram, you can just type in my name. I don't know the actual name, excuse me. And then on TikTok, it's your local Tampa Bay realtor. But yeah, follow me. You can buy artwork from me if you want.
Yeah.
But I do resin art, so I do some pretty cool stuff. So I actually got to do some stuff tonight.
The hustle continues, my friend.
For sure. Have a good day, everyone.
Yes, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe if you're on YouTube, like it if you're on Spotify or Apple Music, or rate it 5 stars. You know the drill. Social media at The Real Estate Playbook. Give us a follow, give us a like, give us a shout, everybody. TheRealEstatePlaybook.com. You can see all the episodes on there, and email us if you would like. Coming to you from Tampa Bay, my friends, I'd like to wish you all a very happy September. And take it easy out there, and we will see you next week.
Bye. Say bye, Reese.
Theme music.